Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV. We stand here in front of a Lancer's Guild with Desiree because, I have recorded this with Serenia already. This was the first job she started with, right? And this was during the super noobish early episodes, and I have no interest in picking those apart. So here's a re-recording of a Lancer's job. Class, whatever. Welcome to the Lancer's Guild adventure. If you seek to refine your skills with a polearm, then you have come to the right place. Here at the Lancer's Guild, spear wielders gather to train with one another and further own their abilities under the tutelage of our fine instructors. Do you seek membership with us? I do. Very well, I shall provide you with an insight into the history of the guild. More than just an instrument of war, the spear is also a tool for hunting, and with game ever plentiful in the 12th Wood, the weapon has been the mainstay of the locals here since before the founding of Gridania. With the passing of time, our nation became a gathering place for spearmasters from across the realm, many eager to test their mettle against the famed might of our wood whalers. And it was here in Gridania that the myriad fighting styles came into contact, eventually giving rise to the art taught here today. That spear technique could be formalized at all owed much to the founding of a Lancer's Guild by Woodwhaler Captain Mistal nigh on a century past. The tradition of accepting students from without as well as within Gridania's borders persists to this day, ensuring that the art of a polearm may not only survive, but also continue to evolve. Well, there you have it. I hope this brief history of a guild has helped settle any doubts in your mind. The Lancer's Guild is always eager to welcome new initiates. If you have a will to enlist, speak with me again and we can begin the enrollment procedures. Let's go. Well then, have you made up your mind to enlist in the Lancer's Guild? Excellent. I shall let Guildmaster Yvain know to expect you. All who seek admittance into our ranks must present themselves before him. He will judge if you are fit to become one of us. Pray make your way to the training area within. Our Guildmaster awaits you there. And that is him here. Well met, adventurer. I understand you wish to learn the Lancer's art under our roof. I see you have some combat experience, yet it remains to be seen if such skills as you have acquired will avail you here. But no matter, in my capacity as Guildmaster I shall guide your training, beginning with the very basics, the principles of our art. There exist myriad fighting styles, each of which has its own unique qualities. None, however, claim to be as offensive-minded as ours. Our approach is ever one of attack, no matter who or what we face. An experienced lancer is able to wield a polearm as if it were an extension of his body. He transforms into a raging storm before his foes, delivering a barrage of devastating thrusts and slashes. To facilitate such a relentless assault, we lancers forego plate, favoring armor of leather and chain, such materials as provide adequate protection without unduly hindering movement. A lancer's worth may be measured quite simple, in how swiftly and decisively he can pierce his enemy's defenses. By its nature, the polearm is a simple weapon to wield, for good or ill. Even in a farmer's hand, it is capable of wreaking considerable havoc. Thus has it been a mainstay of every great army since ancient times. Yet know that a lance alone does not a lancer make. Faced with unfavorable odds, an unseasoned spearman will break formation and flee without a moment's hesitation. A true lancer, however, flinches not before his enemies, for he knows not the meaning of fear. Ever does he press forward, disdainful of the odds, that he might pierce the enemy line and open a path to victory. Needless to say, doing so requires no small amount of courage, and that is why our guild has striven from the first to instill this essential quality in every soul who passes through our halls. Arduous trials await you should you join our ranks. Knowing this, have you the resolve to wield the lance? I have. Well said, adventurer. I see no reason to deny you a place within our ranks. But I neglected to introduce myself. I'm Owain, master of this guild. Pleasantries duly exchanged, I shall add to your hunting logs the names of creatures against which a lancer might own his skills. In celebration of the occasion, I hereby present you with your very own spear. Arm yourself with it and speak to me once more. I would have you undertake your first task, a trial to be precise. And some clothes, please. So, you are able to discern one end of a spear from the other. Good. You are doubtless eager to put your new weapon to test, which is well, for I too have a test in mind, or rather, a trial. In order to develop an affinity with your weapon and learn to gauge such things as distance, you are to go forth and pit yourself against the creatures that roam just outside the town. The squirrels, ladybugs and fungi should provide you with a suitable challenge. Put down, let us say, 3 of each and then report back to me. I could do that, but I think I cut that out actually. Okay, I'm done. So, you're back. I trust you've learned something of the essence of our art. A lancer learns best when he's doing, each thrust making him stronger. Such things as strategy and technique will come in time. And never forget courage. Without it, you cannot hope to realize your potential. Your look betrays no hint of doubt, that is well. It's clear you see the truth in my words. That will be all for the present. Now, take up your weapon, sally forth and cut a path for yourself. When next we meet, I hope to see you stronger for your time out in the world. Return once you're level 5. And thanks to getting ludicrous experience buffs thanks to the road to 70 buff, I'm already level 5. You've returned. I take from your presence that you have gained a measure of familiarity with your weapon. Good. You're ready to begin the next phase of your training. You will recall me telling you that it takes no small amount of courage to be a lancer. Now, in general terms, courage is the strength to do something which one finds unnerving. However, a lancer's notion of courage is not so simple. Having first drawn a distinction between courage and recklessness, he then divides the former into 2 aspects. I would have you learn each with spear in hand. The first is composure. When outnumbered in battle, a lancer may lose his composure and succumb to panic. Should this happen, all of his training will swiftly flee his mind, and he will struggle to overcome opponents whom he would ordinarily have bested with ease. He will, in short, contribute to his own defeat. If you wish to become a lancer in sooth, you must learn to maintain your composure at all times. Do this and you will be able to call upon every ounce of your strength and skill when it matters most. And so, to your first task. The riverbanks of the Central Shrouds are home to vilekin known as Yarsons. Fiercely territorial, the creatures will attack anyone who strays too close, making them the bane of fisherfolk. They typically fall upon their prey en masse, barring all avenues of escape before closing in for the kill. What must go through the mind of a victim in that instant? Panic? Despair? Be sure to tell me upon your return. Needless to say, I would have you brave such an encounter. Take the sack of decidedly noisome bait and use it to lure the ever-ravenous creatures out of their nest. It may be that only one curious Yarson appears, but what if 2 or 3 follow the scent? Let us see how you fare then. Go now, my young Lancer, and learn what it means to fight with composure. And that was the quest. Okay, I killed the Yazans. Welcome back, Desiree, and well done. I trust you now understand that in times of direst need, no amount of strength or skill with a spear will avail a Lancer who lacks composure. You are now ready to learn the second aspect of a Lancer's courage: resolve. When faced with a terrible foe, a Lancer may succumb to fear and self-doubt. Should this happen, he will become defensive and in seeking to cover his weakness, surrender his greatest strength, namely his capacity to attack. A Lancer who fears to attack is naught but a man holding a pole. His spear may as well be a broomstick for all the good it would do to him. It's not and will never be a shield. That you may learn the truth of my words firsthand, I bid you to go to the Central Shroud, to an area adjoining the abandoned dungeon known as Spirit Hold. Since the calamity, that neck of a 12-wood has become a veritable menagerie of fearsome fauna, where you will find 3 collapsed pillars, which have become a haunt for fell creatures. You are to put them down. What manner of fiends can you expect to encounter? Ha! To reveal that would be to defeat the purpose of a lesson, my young Lancer. I will only say this. If you face these foes with a Lancer's resolve, you will surely emerge the victor. Once you have completed the trial, pray report to Jillian in the entrance hall. She has grasped the 2 aspects of courage, albeit with some trouble. Though I doubt you will encounter similar difficulties, her struggle has furnished her with certain insights which I think you would benefit from hearing. A Lancer learns best when he is doing I, but the wisdom of his seniors is not entirely without worth. Go now, Desiree, and do as I bid you. So that's a clock. Oh, hold. Please stop lagging. Recording. And another frozen float, okay. And Jillian. This was we, right? Yeah. I've been expecting you this way. By your return, I trust you now understand the importance of resolve. Like one's flesh, courage can be made strong. It's a matter of training each of its aspects. Now, the endeavor may prove difficult in the beginning. Gods know how much I struggled. You may suffer untold humiliation and more frustration than you can bear, but you must persevere. Whenever you engage an opponent, whether in training or in earnest, make a conscious effort to fight with composure and resolve. Over time, doing so will become second nature, and you will acquire such courage as you have never thought could be yours. Mind you, not all battles entail a physical clash of might. It could simply be a disagreement born of a conflict in ideology. The point is, it matters not what battlefield you stand upon. As long as you take care to be composed and resolute, your courage will grow. Did that make any sense? Even little? I fear I cannot hold a candle to Guildmaster Yvain, but if there's aught I can do to assist in your training... what was that? Something is afoot in the training area. And you call yourself Lancers? Pathetic. You are next, Guildmaster. Arm yourself and face me. Refuse and all will know that you are no true Lancer. Say what you will. I'm above provocation. Craven to the last man. Ah, but what have we here? Wait, she's but a novice. That makes no odds to me. You yourself admitted her to your ranks, did you not? Very well. I shall withdraw for now. Yet know that only the fearless are fit to wear the mantle of Lancer. I look forward to measuring your worth in the days to come. There's not more to see. Return to your drills. Desiree, you made no attempt to evade his thrust. Did your opponent so unnerve you as to deprive you of your senses? No, but he did not mean to hit me. Well, it's of little consequence now. You need pay no further heed to our uninvited guest, lest you wonder it's not uncommon for challengers to come pounding on our doors, seeking to test their mettle. For now, dedicate yourself to tempering the two aspects of courage. The composure to bring the sum of your strength and skill to bear against your foes, and the resolve to attack when fear would stay your hand, as befits a Lancer. When next we meet, I shall have another trial for you, one which will put your courage to the test. Until then, continue to apply yourself to your training. Farewell, Desiree. Okay, and I actually need to make a cut here to, well, level a bit. And I'm back, level 15, and I equipped the brand new gear you get for the, well, doing the tutorial with a DPS, a physical DPS class, but the level 10 quest. Master Yvain. Ah, Desiree, I swear you have gained an ilm around the arm since last we spoke. It's plain you have not been idle. In our previous lesson, you learned the Lancer's definition of courage and how we might go about tempering its two aspects. Today, we shall find out if your efforts have borne fruit. I see you have come prepared for battle. That is well. Your next trial will place you in the midst of a throng of enemies. In such a situation, one may be attacked from any direction, making it difficult to respond appropriately. Furthermore, the likelihood of being surrounded is high. Will your resolve bear the weight of uncertainty? Will your composure hold when the odds are stacked against you? We shall find out. Should you overcome this trial, what courage you already possess will be further tempered. Now read me well, for this is what you must do. I would have you travel to Naked Rock, where the Anoles claim dominion. At the summit of the rock is a sacred artifact, the Stone of Courage. You must claim it and bring it to me. If we are to reach your destination, you will need to negotiate a path through the whole packs of flesh-eating skeleton. Make no mistake, the creatures are intimidating foes. To stride into the midst of so many would ask much of any Lancer's courage. But given time, no small amount of perseverance, I'm confident you will prove equal to the task. And there is Naked Rock. Up there, okay. Thanks to being overleveled, I can avoid most of these. But the young ones are stupid enough to attack. And these ones are okay. This is a Stone of Courage? Congratulations, you have obtained the false Stone of Courage. Ah, you heard me right. False. What does that say about your courage, I wonder? Ah, but where are my manners? My name is Fawkes. We had the pleasure of meeting at the Lancers Guild, if you recall. On that occasion I turned my weapon upon you, and you betrayed not a hint of fear. It was in that instant that I sensed you were unlike the others, that you had promise. And so to the present. In its current state, the trial in which you are engaged, if trial it may be called, makes a mockery of a Lancer's art. Needless to say, this cannot be tolerated. And so I have taken the liberty of moving the Stone of Courage to a more suitable location. It now resides in the depths of Spirithold, under the guard of fell fiends. A far more fitting challenge, as I'm sure you will agree. Whether or not you attempt to retrieve the stone is up for you to decide. If you fear for your safety, I suggest you run back to the guild and bemoan the world's frightfulness to the many brave souls who cower there. Yvain would doubtless consider it a supremely courageous act. Yet know that a Lancer may forge true courage only in the midst of great danger. Do you believe that Fawkes says? I don't. Now it may be true, true courage is only tested when you have faced real danger. But I believe there are ways to train it actually, without putting it to the test immediately. And here's the Stone of Courage. Let's return to Yvain. So you have returned. Tell me, were you able to obtain the Stone of Courage? Yes, this is indeed the stone, though it's in a rather worse condition than when last I saw it. What happened at Naked Rock? The Lancer who but recently threatened you moved to the stone to Spirit Hold? Not content to trespass and slander the brazen through no metals with our training? Seven hells, this is not to be borne. Listen well, Desiree. Though I do not doubt that you know better, my duty as Guildmaster compels me to state the obvious. Heed not that man's words. That a Lancer's courage can only be forged in the midst of great danger is vainglorious tripe. As you have already learned, a Lancer's courage is a product of composure and resolve. Be under no misapprehension. Watchfully navigating the Annull's territory served to temper your courage in a manner that blindly braving the terrors of Spirithold did not. As you continue your training, pray keep the lesson of this trial close to your heart. Desiree, you come at a good time. I urgently require your help. Scarcely a bell ago, our old friend Fawkes paid us another visit, seemingly intent upon reprising the performance he gave the other day of your... Scarcely a bell ago, our old friend Fawkes paid us another visit, seemingly intent upon reprising the performance he gave on the day of your first meeting. As on that occasion, he waved till the air was thick with slanders, declaring every soul who met his gaze more quaver than the last. This time, however, not all ears were deaf to his myriad provocations. It seems one of our younger members took offense at his words and demanded satisfaction of the rogue. The two have since departed to duel in the East Shroud. Had I been on hand, I would have forbidden such folly and rebuked the lad for letting pride cloud his judgment. Alas, I learned of it too late, and the boy is gone. All we can do now is to ensure that the hot-headed fool does not come to lasting harm. I would have departed in pursuit of a pair ere you came, but my duties keep me here. That is why I turn to you now. Pray, go to the East Shroud in my stead and watch over our comrade. And there's Fox. So we meet again. You remember who I am, I trust? I do. But of course you remember your mentor. He who taught you the true meaning of courage. I understand we were able to retrieve a Stone of Courage in Spirithold. It seems I was right about you. Aye, you have the making of a true Lancer. Unlike those charlatans of the Lancers Guild. It is well that you have come to me, for I have just a trial for you. One that will do wonders for your courage. Not interested, you say? But you have no choice. Should you refuse, well, suffice it to say I will not be able to guarantee the safety of your comrade here. When last we spoke, I told you that a Lancer may forge true courage only in the midst of great danger. Needless to say, the threat posed by ordinary creatures is insufficient. You must needs seek out better sport. But fear not, I have taken the liberty of finding you something suitable. Take this alchemic potation and sprinkle it upon the exposed roots yonder. Doing so will garner you the wrath of a certain creature, which you then must strike down. Angered Elf. Was that all? So, you have vanquished the Treant. Well done. By striking down that frenzied creature, you have further strengthened your courage. Release your comrade. Oh, I shall, once you've completed my next trial. This one will pit you against a multitude of foes. Make your way to a live meant stump in the central shroud. Once there, seek out a likely spot along the forest path to lie in wait. Man-eating wolves are wont to hunt there at this time of year, and it should not be long before a pack appears. When the beasts show themselves, you to slay their leader, the alpha wolf. I shall be observing from up close, but better to offer you advice. Okay, another senseless slaughter. Let's do this. This is as good as over if the Alpha Wolf paralyzes you. Will your courage hold out in the face of terror? We shall see. Courage forged only in the midst of great danger. I grow deathly bored. Let me make this more interesting. Oh, a true Lancer need no eyes to win, only his courage. He blinded me. Oh dear, it would seem you have enraged the beast. My part is done, the rest I leave to you. You're to be congratulated, Desiree. By throwing yourself into the midst of danger, you have further tempered your courage. And in the process, you have brought peace to Lifeman's Stump, a place considered sacred by the people of Gridania. Having undertaken my trials, you must now see that those issued by the guild are naught but child's play. Mine is a true path to courage. All others lead to ignominy. If you wish to become a lancer worthy of a name, I suggest you leave Yvain and the House of Cravens, never to return. For your sake, I pray you do so soon. Till we meet again. Desiree, thank the gods you're safe. That young fool of a Lancer returned but moments ago, and through choked tears recounted to me all that transpired. I understand folks again attempted to force upon you his corrupted notion of courage. I cannot say this often enough. A Lancer strengthens his courage by tempering his composure and resolve, not by rushing headlong into danger. You were able to overcome folks' trials, 'tis true, yet know that you did so by virtue of true courage. That is, courage born of composure and resolve. You faltered not before the fury of a frenzied treant, nor did you succumb to panic when surrounded by bloodthirsty wolves. Owing to this, you were able to perform to the fullest of your potential. You have come far, Desiree. It's past time that I taught you the piercing talent technique, one of the most versatile weapons in the Lancer's arsenal. May it serve you well. Now, I must needs decide what course of action to take with regards to our self-appointed... your self-appointed mentor. Though no lives were lost, this latest incident only serves to confirm But I have long suspected that Fawkes will cause great harm if left to propagate his corrupted notion of courage. He must be persuaded to desist, though I do not yet know how. Mayhap his regard for you could be turned to our advantage, but leave such considerations to me. For the time being, you would do well to put Fawkes from your mind. Focus on your training and strive to master the techniques I taught you. I look forward to our next meeting. That we gain Piercing Talon, which is a ranged attack. And I think this is more than enough and time to end the episode. Though, given how much I had to travel, I'm not entirely certain. We'll see. Anyway, until next time, when we play more Final Fantasy XIV, I am Mace, and don't get lost.